Yo! What is up, NFL fans? It's your boy, Kevin Phillip Fox here. First time with the new intro music. Man, let me tell you, I'm juiced. I'm here to talk about NFL football with you. And I know that if you guys are like me, which I know that all of you are, you're probably sweating in anticipation for the NFL every single day. You're probably scratching your neck and just wondering when that next hit of sweet NFL football is coming. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is closer today than it was yesterday, and tomorrow it will be even closer. I'm not doing this alone. We have a lot to get to today. So, as much as I'd love to talk about my addiction all day, I have a partner from Down Under to bring, and that's Mr. Adrian Revito. Adrian, what's up, brother?
I'm jealous. That music's better. The new intro music is better than the one
It's
that I
goated.
just played.
It's
I used
goated.
to save this. I used to save the hip hop one for me, and then now it's. Anyway, look, we'll see what happens next week.
I like the one that you have. It's a little anticlimactic. You need to hit your royalty-free treasure chest that you have, and you need to try to mine for some gold there because you already have some. You have some juice there, brother.
I have another new one that I think did I use it last week with Chris? Anyway, that's if we have someone else to announce, I might use it with him.
Anyways, luckily for us, we don't have anybody else to announce. It's just us today. Just kidding. Jimmy Ray from NFL Stats is back from a long hiatus. Jimmy, we missed you so much.
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going amazing. How's it going for you?
It's going good, man. It's good to be back. This music is awesome.
I was actually
It's
meant to. There's
amazing.
a bit of a build up. If we have a little like preamble before you dropped in, there was a little build up where it cuts and then comes back.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a work in progress. We build.
I still like Kev's better though. Kev's is undefeated.
Mine's goated. Oh, again?
Yeah. This podcast is just going to be just like playing intro music.
Where'd you find that? Did Kev make
We're just
that?
hanging here. We're just hanging
Here.
here. I should
Vibes.
make us music. You know what? Stay tuned. I should make us music.
That'd
Kev,
be
it
fun.
sounds like some of your music. Honestly, it sounds
A
pretty
little
good.
bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
You guys, we have so much to talk about today. The NFL is right around the corner. Receivers got paid? What? What is this? What is this nonsense? Back up the Brinks truck. CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Ayuk both get their deals, and we have been not waxing poetic about it, not soapboxing. There's not even a term to describe how much vitriol and hatred this podcast has for these storylines. 2 out of the 3, just Jamar Chase. Get my boy Chase some money, but CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Ayuk are finally paid. Jimmy Ray, NFL Stats, you are probably the most plugged in with the contract game. Talk to us about these deals. Talk to us about how inevitable they were, how they got done. How do you feel about this stuff, Jimmy?
So I think like the last time I think Adrian and I did a show about just talking about like the wide receiver deals and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I made like the bold take of like, I don't think CD is going to get paid. And obviously, yeah, we were going down the list and I was like, I think we were talking about like what extensions were coming next. We got it right on Jordan Love because he like signed an extension the next day.
And Tua, same day, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think we called Trent Williams second though, so I think we got that wrong.
Oh yeah, Trent Williams. Well, we did our best. But no, these. So looking back on it, I mean, these wide receiver contracts, they're good for the team. They were, I guess, the CeeDee Lamb one. You never really knew. I really thought there was something going on with like Jerry Jones and him, and I thought he might not see the field this season. But yeah,
that's bold.
For Brandon Ayuk especially, I think this is great for the 49ers because I don't think Debo is necessarily going to be there like long term. So I think this is a good stepping ground. They have Ricky Pearsall that'll come in at some point, hopefully. But I think it makes sense for the $30 million a year. I think he's in the kind of the right spot. I think he came in at the right spot. It's a lot of money, but you do have to pay your good players at some point. So,
well, you know what they always say. I have a love-hate relationship with phrases like this, but the market is the market.
Yeah.
And a player like Brandon Ayuk does command that kind of money, regardless of whether or not he is truly in a vacuum worth $30 million a year. That's besides the point. Player of his caliber, his age, his ability to just run routes cleanly. He's kind of borderline quarterback proof, I would say. I kind of feel like he would find his in whatever system or offense he's in. So
yeah, if he was going to the Commanders or some Steelers or something like that, I think he would excel as a wide receiver 1, which is why I feel like he deserves deserves this money, and you don't want him going anywhere else. So you're
And
not
you
going
have
to
to
get
wonder-
the first round pick, second round pick that you would want for a player like that.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if that's part of his hesitation, right? Is like, will he ever truly get his flowers in a system where he will always be maybe 1A, but there or well, no, one, let's be real, 1B, because obviously, oh, cool little emojis from Ken James.
I'm just highlighting it because he's got a Packers hat as his
Cool.
profile.
Cool little emojis. Is that a green smiley face
It looks like it.
with its eyes closed? Okay, I kind of also thought it looked like imagine like a green background with like little sushi rolls. I kind of thought it was like little sushi rolls at first, but
all right, pivot again. This podcast is discussing those emojis for the rest of the show.
yeah, right. We're back.
Board,
Ken,
out.
post more, please. No, but yeah. So I mean, McCaffrey's the 1A, but I mean, they have 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D there. Let's be real.
That's the thing with Ayuk. He's like he's like, what's the word? He's kind of flourished. That's what I was thinking of in like an offense with so many weapons. He's by far the most like efficient wide receiver of his sort of tier. But he is a true wide receiver one. But I think where he got paid, which is 5th average per year, sounds about right. Like I don't think he's better than CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill, but I think he's actually, if I'm not wrong, his average per year is equal with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and that's
it is.
That's a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
The reporting what happened to Brock Purdy too.
Very. Yeah. The reporting was that they had an offer to the Broncos for Cortland Sutton, and the reporting was in Legit Football today. And if that got accepted, they would have dealt him to the Steelers. That was the reporting.
Ooh. Oh, that's fun. I mean, Cortland Sutton would probably excel in that offense, and you know, he's a big touchdown threat. He's no Ayuk. Let's be honest. The 49ers are much, much better off with this deal. And I'm thankful that we don't have to talk about it anymore, more so than anything else. And CeeDee Lamb, similar, great, big payday for him. Very deserved. One of the best receivers in the league, getting paid like it. We don't have to deal with the sideshow anymore with Jerry Jones and this, that, and the third. Anything on CeeDee Lamb, guys, before we tie a bow on this storyline, hopefully forever?
I got a tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah, let it rip.
What if Jerry Jones is actually just playing us all? Like, you know, he's playing that kind of senile old man, making mistakes on public on purpose. And then he just is like, you know, we're no rush to get CeeDee Lamb deal done. Oh, it looks promising. Bam, he's done, paid. Like, Dak is playing. He doesn't know if he's going next year, but probably going next year. Like, what if Jerry Jones is just keyed in to the future and none of us are on board? Like, we're all like, this guy's getting spoiled.
What does he get out of it? Just attention?
Yeah, his ego is massive. So I think that's a fair point.
Yeah, because I don't know why else he would do it, because it doesn't feel like it benefits him at all to play that long con. Like oh, they'll all see, and it's like, what will they see, homie?
I think what if they win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years or 3 years? Anyway, look, it was just like I was like, this is so dumb. Why haven't they paid CeeDee Lamb? And then they just sneakily got it done. He didn't get above 35 million. I was just like, what if Jez is just throwing it on, like just putting a bit of extra sauce to look like he doesn't know what he's doing, and then behind the like closed doors, he's just wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, you know, I definitely could see a world where Jerry Jones, I mean, he's clearly, they got the rings to prove that he at one point at least knew what he was doing. The problem is they just haven't had him in so long. So
who's gonna fire him?
Yeah, nobody. Exactly. That's
nobody's gonna fire him. Yeah, he's not gonna fire himself.
And I don't know if you guys have seen this. Can I get a status quo? Talk to me like I'm 5. What did Dak say? What did Jerry say about Dak today?
The last I heard of him talking about Dak was about the, like, don't quote me on this, but something around the, like, you know, a deal not getting done this side of the start of the season. Is that what he's talking about?
I personally don't think that it's even cute to play games with your franchise quarterback. I know Dak has a history of choking in the playoffs, and I know that he's not Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or they might be right around there. I think he's a very good quarterback. I wouldn't play games. I wouldn't play chicken with my franchise quarterback if I was Jerry Jones. I think it's a mistake.
I'm so with you on this. I feel like Dak is like criminally, and I understand he chokes in the playoffs. Like I do get that, but so did Aaron Rodgers. Like, you know, that's not always just on the QB, and that dude is a good QB who gets you to the playoffs every single year. And they won games because of him, not in spite of him. And, you know, Jimmy, I'm keen for your thoughts on this, but like really, Dak is like he he can diagnose a defense before the ball snapped about as good as anyone.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you're going to end up paying Dak at some point. I'm trying to look up the comments that Jerry Jones made. It seems like there's a lot of back and forth with, maybe not from you, from my mirror has more to do with art. Yeah, that is what I just found. And it does with the merits of Dak Prescott being the quarterback of the Cowboys. So I think what he's trying to say there is like they're going to have to pay a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like they paid CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott. Like the situation there has to do like there has to be some finagling and things like that there for you to sign like a guy like Dak Prescott. But I think you will end up finding some sort of. I mean, the salary cap's not real. I think we all know that by now. We saw the Deshaun Watson thing. They converted like 33 mil into signing bonus, so I'm sure they can figure it out.
Yeah. The problem with that, though, is I believe when you make choices like that, it does tie that player to your franchise longer financially. It makes it harder to move on from them sooner.
I think he does. Yeah, I think like 2027, 2028 maybe. Or I don't know. There's
if you're Cleveland, you just have to think like, what on earth are you thinking?
Just get it out of the way, yeah.
Dude, I would have already moved on. I would have already pulled the Russell Wilson plug, the Stephon Diggs plug. Take your medicine. Exactly. I know dead cap is ugly. I know it looks bad. Your owner probably doesn't love it because it's technically money you're not getting back. But
I think
time you're not getting time back either, brother.
I think you have to wait it out at least this year and see how this season goes for Deshaun Watson if we're gonna go that route.
Yes, but you could have done that before you committed the dead cap and make it longer.
Because it adds 70 mil in dead cap, doesn't it? The next 2 years, something like that.
Yeah,
it was like absurd.
I mean, once they traded for him and had that guaranteed money, it was going to be an awful show at that point. I don't think anybody agreed with how that happened. And then he was obviously gone that whole year, and now last year he didn't play up to par. So I think this is the breaking point year, and then they'll find a way to get out of it if they need to. But yeah, this is a weird move.
Yeah.
If you did want to do that for this season. So I is that what you were trying to say? Yeah.
This is a team that organizationally righted the ship, and we had all collectively changed our opinions on the Browns. Stefanski's legit. They've had some cool stuff going on. Even after the horrible deal for Deshaun and the guaranteed money, there were years. Last year with Joe Flacco, they were they were Cinderella. They have a great defense. They have a lot of blue chip prospects.
Now, yeah.
But how far behind the 8 ball are they putting themselves in the future by continuing to kick the Deshaun Watson can down the road?
Potentially, yeah. I mean,
like this could be a decade's worth of like they could be setting themselves up for a decade of turmoil if this doesn't go well, and they all should lose their jobs if this doesn't go well.
Anybody? What about Stefanski can stay? I feel like.
Well, he's letting it all happen, right? To some degree.
I feel like it'll be a clean house situation.
I would say more of a GM thing.
People love Stefanski. I'm not gonna publicly talk bad about Kevin Stefanski. I think he's done a fine job. I think he's a little overrated. Not quite as overrated as Zach Taylor, but I think he's overrated. Regardless.
But the Browns need. So I posted today a stat. The Browns are tied for like the third oldest team in the NFL. So eventually, I think
that chickens are going to come home.
If they don't get it done, yeah. I mean, obviously, you're going to need to find a quarterback if you get rid of Deshaun Watson or something like that.
And what are you going to pay him with?
See.
Pennies, Skittles.
I don't know. Maybe they can get a donation fund going. We'll see.
Anyways, guys, without further ado, we have a game preview to get to, our first of the year. Something that people come back to legit football for. They say, you come for the handsome Australian guy and the annoying guy from upstate New York and the really smart guy who talks about stats, and you stay for the game previews. And
quote unquote, that's
an exact quote. Actually, it's from a review, Rotten Tomatoes. We're talking about football. We're talking about real football. Ravens at Chiefs next Thursday night, Arrowhead Stadium. Brought a tear to my eye even thinking about it. Luckily, I absolutely despise the Chiefs, so I can root on their downfall. That's something that will be fun. But we got a real game here, and I think it starts – I would say starts and ends, but I think there's a lot more. But the quarterbacks are the big thing. We have reigning MVP Lamar Jackson, reigning Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes, and we have an absolute heavyweight tilt. Adrian, I want to start with you. What are you watching for, and how do we feel about this game?
So like you, I'm rooting on the Chiefs downfall, and I put some cold hard Australian cash on the Ravens to win this game because I feel like they can. So I went back because I spoke last year, and I remember mentioning a couple times that Kansas City defense, while it has been fantastic and they have lost some pieces, has always been susceptible to the run. So here are their 6 losses last year. All right. Actually, I'm not going to go through it all, but I'll tell you 6 losses, average of 140 yards on the ground in those losses. Against the Raiders, Xavier White went for 165 and 2. Against the Broncos, where they lost 170 on the ground. So I feel like you're getting your first game with Derrick Henry in the purple. You got Lamar Jackson who can run. They've lost some pieces on their offensive line that are going to either move the ball faster or force them to run more. And we know when the Ravens played the Chiefs last time, like mind-bogglingly, did not run the ball. They had 16 touches for on the ground. So I think the one key matchup I'm looking for here is the Kansas City defense versus the Ravens rush. If they can master that, and if Derrick Henry has what we all suspect, I think he has still in the tank, I think they can win this on the ground.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Wow.
Excellent.
Jimmy with the hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
I love the take, and I'm really hoping that it materializes. I have some assets divided into Derrick Henry in fantasy. I have some assets divided into Lamar Jackson in fantasy. As Jimmy Ray knows, Lamar Jackson is my quarterback in the Scott Fish Bowl. So crossing my fingers for an excellent showing from him. I also just had my girl take him in her fantasy draft, and she thinks I'm this expert. So if I let her down, oof. Let me tell you.
Is this her first fantasy?
Like her first year doing fantasy football. She's in 2 leagues, and I couldn't be prouder. Special shout out to her and her efforts, and AKA also my efforts. We had cheat sheets, we had spreadsheets. It was nerdy.
I love it.
It was very fun. But if I'm like, babe, I'm this expert, trust me, and then I steer her wrong, I'm gonna be looking for a house in a couple months. So, anyways, enough on that. I think Patrick Mahomes does have enough sauce where he can penetrate this Ravens defense. They have a great defense, and I think they'll do a really good job. But I do think the Chiefs will move the ball. Travis Kelce's setting out to prove that he's not 100 years old. Taylor Swift will be panned too. I'll take the over. I'll set the line at 3.5. What do you guys think?
Over.
Is that too low of a line?
It depends on Kelsey's game because she gets shown more when he's doing well, and he torched the Ravens in the postseason.
We'll all collectively take that over, and yeah, Xavier Worthy. Close eyes on him. We'll see if he's actually decent, or we'll see how Rashid Rice bounces back from everything that has gone on with him this offseason. I'll make my pick. I'll make my prediction. I'm going to take the Ravens to win this game 28-23.
Oh no! Did you pick the Ravens too, Adrian?
Yes, I did. I had 28-27. Can I be in NFL stats for a second?
No,
please.
Just as scab NFL stats. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Chiefs, the 46.5 total that is currently listed on Vegas. Sorry. The Chiefs have gone over that total in 8 of their last 10 season openers, and the Ravens have scored at least 25 in every opener since 2018. So I think both teams come out hot.
So that's a the over, you're saying?
Yes, that is absolutely.
Hashtag bet the rent. Okay.
Bet the rent.
Yeah, I had the over too. That was one of my favorite bets.
I'm taking your advice.
Even though the last game they only scored 30 points total in the playoff game.
Bad weather with rain though.
That's true.
All right. Well, true. Fellas, Jimmy, can I get a score total?
30-27 Ravens. Well, I'll go on the Ravens. So that means
every time we do this, the Chiefs win. I'm going to change my pick. I'm officially going to change my pick. I did spiel. Okay, I spieled. I can't change my pick.
The Ravens are 1-4 against the Chiefs.
I'm the spiel, but I walk back the spiel. You're not allowed to walk back your spiel.
I can't do it. I won't pull an Adrian.
Lamar Jackson's only beat him once.
Ooh, without further ado, it's time, Adrian, for our.
Hold on. I don't know. I'm not ready to keep waxing poetic.
It's time for the Legit Football Spectacular.
Here we go.
The main topic, and we are doing a fantasy football mock draft because it's fantasy draft season. And what kind of podcast hosts would we be if we didn't send our devoted, amazing listeners to their drafts prepared? And I also think it's important to note that if you are perusing YouTube and you find this Legit Football Podcast, this is where you're going to skip to for the draft. So we have to put a timestamp in the description, like 20 minutes, 51 seconds, because there's going to be people who are trying to cram, and I want them to have a chance to succeed. So without further ado, we posted our link. Did we have anybody join? Armand, you can join. 49ers Faithful Forever, you can join. Any of the 389 listeners live, you can join our mock draft and participate in the Legit Football mock draft. We'll give you 2 minutes to join while we talk about the
comments go out
rules.
to Twitter? I don't think they've gone out to Twitter. Because I'm looking at the comments that went to Facebook and YouTube.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
dude, I could just send it in NFL Stats and see if people join.
Do it. See what happens. See what happens. Listen, without further ado, half PPR. We're gonna try to find a fun way to randomize the order. So, Adrian, do you have we could ask our phone probably to pick a number 1 to 12. I think that would be pretty fun. Should we do that?
I can do it. Oh, as in you're gonna ask like Siri?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do it.
Ready? All right. This is for mine. Ready?
Yep.
Pick a number 1 to 12. We got 9. I'm 9. How boring.
Claim it. Are you just gonna are you gonna pick for the rest of us?
Yeah, I can do that. And we won't do repeats. Mock draft.
Like I'm gonna get 12.
Okay. And pick a number 1 to 12. They picked 9 again. Pick a number 1 to 12.
Picks it again.
4.
See?
That's what I wanted.
I'm happy with that. 4's a good one.
Want to trade?
No.
Okay. Pick a number 1 to 12. 11 for Jimmy.
Let's go. Here, I got it.
And let's give it 30 seconds to see if anybody from NFL Stats joins. Anybody from our listeners join. Yeah, Armand. Let's go,
yeah.
Armand. That's exciting.
12.
He picked 12. Should I pick your number? Let's do a random number for Armand too. Armand, I'm gonna determine your draft order right now. Ready, sir? Pick a number 1 to 12. 8 for Armand. So he's gonna snipe me all day. Thanks, Armand. Ladies and gentlemen, I say we give it another 30 seconds and then we lock in.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start it. You know that on your end, yeah, Kev.
Yes, sir.
This is your mock draft.
Yes, sir. Half PPR. Let's look at the team build. QB, 2 receiver, 2 running back, tight end, 2 flex, defense, no kicker. Obviously, who the hell still has kickers in 2024? I know I am surprised because I'm in a couple leagues and they're doing it, and I'm like, we're really doing this? Like,
hey, Cameron Dicker, the kicker, just got signed an extension. Make sure to draft him.
Homie got paid.
Yeah, kicker got paid.
All right. I think we're good to go.
We're at the moment.
Yeah, we're good to go.
We just get rid of both.
I was gonna just tweet it, but if we have too many people, it would take way too long. So
that's a great point. Did not think about that.
Put it in the stream.
Yeah, I'd love to say like, oh, let's try to like be quick. Armand has to switch to 8 still before we start.
Armand, you just click, or we can leave you at 12.
Yeah, if he's 12, he's 12. I'm not too stressed about it. I'm at.
So I'm gonna be first. I'm gonna be first on the clock. Yeah.
We're good. We ready to roll?
Let's do it.
All right, lock it up. Oh, the sound effects.
Love the sound effects.
All right. I will recap the draft as we go. 101, Jamar Chase. 102, Tyreek Hill. 103, Christian McCaffrey. Adrian's on the clock at 104. Adrian, talk us through your process.
I've put it in. I have thoughts here, and I'm sorry. Before you can have a think about your pick, Kev. I thought, you know what? I'd always get stuck without a really strong running back room, and that happens to me in every draft I've been in so far. And the Falcons have the easiest strength of schedule. I feel like Robinson in new offense is gonna thrive, and that's why he's my pick.
Yeah, Bijan's a great pick there. I think you could. I'm surprised Breece Hall hasn't gone quite yet. You could go Brees Hall that early too, but I think
Jimmy.
Bijan's going to thrive. Yeah.
Don't spoil my pick.
Uh,
Kevin's up
okay.
at
Talk
109,
your talk.
and you better believe I am breaking my thumb smashing draft on Brees Hall. I have him on my big board at 5. I would have taken him at 5th. I might have taken him at 4, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at the pick of Bijan. I love Bijan as well. I just think Brees Hall is going to have an excellent season. Armand, gotta give your team love and gotta give them credit where they're due.
Mir Gibbs before.
And
Brees.
I absolutely have to take Brees Hall here, and I'm stoked about it. Saquon off the board at 10, and Jimmy's up at 11.
I don't know if I buy in on Saquon off the board in the first round. Is that bad? Is that weird?
I don't think that's weird. I think that could happen.
I don't think that's weird. I wasn't looking at Saquon, to be honest with you. I'm kind of happy that he went before me because now I'm looking at these. I got to go AJ Brown. I feel like
that's a great pick. Sorry. I would have taken that as well.
I feel like he's proven himself a lot. He just signed an extension. He's in a high-powered offense. We can only hope this year. But I'm a big wide receiver early kind of guy and get some running backs later. So we'll see who Armand picks here.
Armand with Jonathan Taylor. Armand, we know your other pick. Just do it. Just do it.
Oh my
goodness. I thought he was going to take Garrett Wilson. He's a Jets fan.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh my God, Jimmy, you might be able to do it.
How's Marvin Harrison up here?
Dude, I
like his picks, though. He's clearly got the old school fantasy football mindset of yam the running backs early, deal with the rest of your roster later. I'm not mad at it. Running backs are the most volatile position. Secure
I'm looking at Garrett Wilson or Marvin Harrison right now, to be honest with you, with a little bit of Puka. This is half PPR, so those are the two guys that even Puka's going to get crazy number of targets.
Yeah, all three of those are excellent. I'm thankful one of them is going to make their way down to me.
Man, let's just have a record-breaking rookie season.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, love it. I actually like that.
I have not picked him a lot because I don't usually pick from the 11 spot. So it's nice to do it right
when
now.
I have the chance to take Marvin Harrison, it does excite me. I love the idea of having the son of an NFL legend who was a first-round pick, who's considered one of the greatest wide receiver talents of all time. Mm-hmm. Prospects, I should say.
Yeah, it's the boom potential on an offense that he's the guy. He's the wide receiver one by far.
Kyler should have a bounce back year. Yep, absolutely.
Right.
Jimmy,
so if you're betting on the Cardinals maybe being like your dream team, maybe a little.
Yeah. You know what I didn't know because I was doing stuff while we're working. Is this a dynasty mark or is this a?
This is just regular
redraft.
All right.
Just redraft.
That changes. Okay. Cool.
Oh, is that why you took Bijan?
Cool. No, I'm happy with Bijan. Still happy with Bijan.
Still happy with Bijan. Okay.
Yeah.
I love how Australians say dynasty.
Did I say dynasty?
Dynasty. I don't know.
Dynasty.
We say dynasty. Americans
dynasty.
say dynasty.
Did I say dynasty?
Every European says dynasty. We're not.
Roll back the tape. What did he say?
Australia is not part of Europe. You know that.
I do this every time. Damn it.
Oh man.
So anyways,
geography. Sorry.
Without further ado,
close.
Garrett Wilson is still on the board.
It is literally the other side of the world.
It's kind of a travesty because I don't really want to take him, and I don't think I want to because another person also fell, and that's Puka Nacua. That's who I'm the most excited about here out of the names remaining.
Drake London. Wow.
I'm gonna yam Puka Nacua here, and I Brees Hall and Puka Nacua. That's a dream start to a draft for me.
I'm a little surprised Kyron Williams.
That's awesome.
That high.
Yeah, especially with the news coming out from Legit Football that he's going to be a punt returner this year. That's a little terrifying.
Yeah, that was odd.
I would still pick him. He'll be fine.
This is hard. I mean, look, I obviously want to take Kevin's boy Josh Allen, and he is the next highest ADP. But I don't know if I want to take a quarterback this early. There's still so much on the board. I'm probably being a homer here, but I feel like Josh Jacobs is going to get. You know what? I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to take Josh Jacobs, and I'll explain
super reasonable
why.
Here. No, that's super reasonable here. Don't worry about it.
I feel like some people, if they look at Josh Jacobs' pick, they're not a fan of it. But I feel like, he's shown before he can get a crazy amount of carries and be productive with it. So
he was in the most stacked boxes in the league for the Raiders. He's now come. He's got the workhorse role. Their running back 2 has an injury, so their RB3 is currently 2. I feel like he's going to get so much of a share. All right.
We now have the GOAT, PK Martini, my pops, who I'll be hanging out with and eating buffalo wings with in just a week's time. Shout out to Pops. And we have Titan Maximum, who's better late than never, Titan Maximum. Who says it's too early for a QB, so giving you your flowers. Adrian, despite the fact that you have two running backs, and okay, Dad, you had to add some salt in the wound. It's fine. Not very nice. But that being said, welcome in Titan Maximum. Welcome in PK Martini. We have our squad. We're full now. Party time in the USA.
I find some. Look, I guess not. All right. I think for the next pick. This is hard to do. I really shouldn't have thought about this. All right, I'm gonna go a bit weird, and I don't think it's weird actually at all. But I'm gonna go Sam Laporta. Would like to get a wide receiver, but I feel like he's gonna be an absolute monster this year.
Yeah, you're riding a little dirty. You're riding a little dirty with no receivers thus far, but you can overcome it. I've seen you do amazing things with fantasy football. Lego, my ego is here. LFG, which I can't say what that stands
for.
Let's
freaking go!
Let's freaking go! Chiefs Kingdom.
Lego my ego.
Lego my ego. Chiefs Kingdom. I'm sorry that we talked trash about your team earlier in the pod.
They're probably gonna win. So
we all know they're gonna win on next Thursday.
And that third Super Bowl.
Titan Maximum Bolognese sounds yummy. Hopefully there's some extra for us, and hopefully you have Tupperware to ship to LA and Australia and Indiana respectively. Without further ado, I'm back on the clock. I have Breece Hall and Puka Nacua.
Why is he shipping to you first? What, you get the first serve because you're the...
I said respectively,
don't share my location
Adrian.
either.
That means each of us.
Respectively, as in that order. Is that what you meant?
Oh, that's fair.
Are they shipping to Europe?
That's fair. They're shipping hopefully you have some European labels. All right.
South Africa, no.
So looking at the board here, oh my God. Why would you guys do this? Why would you guys let me get Nico Collins here?
He was the other one on my radar.
This is blasphemous. There's no way I should be getting Nico Collins in the third round with Breece Hall and Puka Nacua as my starting team. I've never been happier with a fantasy start. Jimmy, I think we might have to turn this one into another best ball bet.
Oh, we 100% will. Why
have
not?
to.
We don't have to touch it after that. Yeah, exactly. Adrian, last time we did it, we just turned it into a best ball and we're just gonna let it ride.
What do we bet?
We have
money on
we
it?
have $1,000.
No, it was 50 grand. 50
it was
grand
50 grand. Oh,
yeah,
50 bands. Okay.
50 bands.
I won't even miss that. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so it's my pick. So I have two wide receivers, and sometimes I'm tempted to go a third wide receiver, but I think there's a couple running backs here that I do like, and I love Rachaad White, especially as a pass catcher. It's half PPR, so he'll definitely get a lot of points from that aspect. Was he like very, very efficient as a runner? Sure. Yeah, he was. He had a lot of carries. He absolutely was. But he's still the guy in Tampa Bay, and they're running it back, so I think it'll be similar to last year.
The amount of negative attention Rachaad White gets for his quote-unquote efficiency is blasphemous, considering he's the RB1, the 3-down back for an offense that features Baker Mayfield, where there's a lot of dump-offs. I love Rachaad White in fantasy, and shame on the people who give him a hard time.
Yeah, I just don't think like Sean Tucker, Bucky, Cooper Kupp, Michael Pittman. So Armand
Jimmy's sick to his stomach.
I mean, I know Adrian hates him, so I wanted to talk good about him.
Armand, great start to your team. I'll catch us up because I kind of have been slacking on the reading of the names thing. We've had, I literally said this, in order, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne, Marvin Harrison, Drake London, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Josh Allen, Deebo Samuel, Devon Achane, Chris Olave, Travis Kelce, Brandon Ayuk, Sam Laporta, Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Isaiah Pacheco, Patrick Mahomes, Nico Collins, to your boy, Lamar Jackson, Rachaad White, to your other boy, and then Armand with the double stack, Cooper Kupp, Michael Pittman. Armand now has 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and Jimmy's back on the clock. Sorry, that I just caught us up. I won't do that again for those who are just listening and not watching.
That was beautiful.
Big breath.
That was awesome, dude.
Big breath.
It gave me time to kind of make my decision. So the kind of 2 guys I'm picking between is DJ Moore and James Cook here.
Ooh, love it.
So it's tough for me. I am looking at kind of so what I do, I typically look at like where I would pick next and kind of see what players might be available to see if it's like who I would like there. Just kind of thinking ahead.
Yep.
And looking at the wide receivers there, there's a lot more. Like the wide receivers here, I feel like I like a ton more. I feel like there's a drop off. I love James Cook. I do.
Baby Cook.
I'm not just saying that because you're here, but
no,
I'm saying it more now that you're here.
Yeah, you gotta hype it up a little bit.
I'm gonna go DJ Moore. I feel like regardless of Keenan Allen coming in, Caleb Williams is going to come out. I got some players that will be affected by rookies on my team, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
got 3 wide receivers now. It's a lot of flex positions, so I'm already picking flex.
I'm not too mad at the DJ Moore pick there. I think he'll be excellent. A lot of volume guys on your team. A lot of volume guys. A lot of target hogs.
Appreciate that.
Team 10 after you took Joe Mixon, and I'm back on the clock, and you kind of made my pick for me. You kind of explained the logic perfectly why James Cook was a great pick here.
He's not good. You should let him fall.
And I try to have one build per draft. That's kind of like a little rule I have because I just like rooting for my guys.
You gonna get Shakir here?
It happens to be a good time to draft bills in fantasy, right? Go yay me. It didn't work out so well when I was a kid, but it works out great now. I'm taking James Cook here, and I have 2 running backs, 2 receivers. Great balanced start to my draft. Stephon Diggs, boo. DK Metcalf, Malik Neighbors, and Jalen Hurts with Adrian Revito back on the clock, still riding dirty.
Why didn't you pick Stephon Diggs there?
Boo.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Is that a homer no pick?
Yes.
Homer non-pick? I got you.
Yes.
All right. Looking at the board, so I obviously need to get a wide receiver here. It's really hard. Actually, funnily enough, I'm looking further down the board. And this is a little bit cheating because I know I've only got computer auto picks for the next 6, so I know he should drop to me. Because I'm looking straight at Scary Terry McLaurin. But before him, look, I think I need a couple power wide receivers. Now, Devonta Smith is good, but he's also is a 2. He's not a 1. Amari Cooper was surprisingly good in fantasy last year, but they've got some extra pieces there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick someone that I do not like, who is in a good situation, which is Zay Flowers, because he's the clear one.
Nice.
In Baltimore.
Short up.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I think it makes sense in the situation that he's in.
Yeah.
And I know this is still probably too early, but I'm taking him because he's going to drop, and that's Scary Terry, baby.
Nice. Love it.
Terry McLaurin's another volume guy, too. I think Zay Flowers, like, volume-wise, maybe not, just because they run the ball so much. But he was the favorite target by far, last year.
And I think that's the thing. I think they'll stack the box against the Ravens to stop that run, and he should be able to get his one-on-ones and get open a lot.
Yeah, especially in half PPR.
And
he'll get some points.
This is something, too, where it's just a fun little chance to do little nuggets and little tidbits for fantasy football. I had some tips and tricks. That's another thing I really love sharing about fantasy football. I've been playing since I was basically in diapers, not quite, like maybe pull-ups, I'll say. And one thing I've learned over my years is if you want a guy on your team, and regardless of what ADP says, if you want a guy on your team, you draft him. Go get your guy. 100% of players you don't draft won't be on your team. Fair, right?
It's better than the Jordan.
98%.
I just
Nothing's
think
absolute.
We get real cute with it, and we try to play ADP roulette, and sometimes that burns us. And I would rather not see the people I love get burned. So shout out to you for that pick. Between Adrian's Zay Flowers pick and it went Ken Walker, CJ Stroud, Trey McBride, Devontae Smith, Alvin Kamara, Mark Andrews. Adrian then reached a little bit, but nobody's blaming you for Terry McLaurin. Then we got Aaron Jones, Tank Dell, Amari Cooper, and David Montgomery, which brings me back to the clock here. And I'm in a predicament here. I'm in an absolute predicament here.
I see another bill up here.
I was going to say, if I had not taken James Cook last round, Dalton Kincaid would be my break my finger smashing pick. However, I have James Cook, and I don't love to have 2 of the same weapons on the same team. I do think in this case it will be okay. You could consider that a mini stack. Without a quarterback, it's called a naked stack. I'm just really showing how much of a freaking nerd I am. Yeah, I really am into the fantasy football thing a lot. You guys, you're seeing I'm exposed to the bathroom.
PG-13 now, man.
And Jimmy, I know how sick this is going to make you, but
what are you doing?
Anthony Richardson is right there, and I like to have a high upside QB. And I think he's going to be excellent. I've got him in a couple of my leagues. I gotta do it. I'm so sorry. Enjoy Kincaid, buddy.
So unhappy about that.
Enjoy Kincaid.
I'm okay with it. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to pick him from a fantasy perspective. I like to go quarterback a little later.
He's capping. Adrian, he's capping.
But
literally,
I still think that's me. Yeah,
that's you. You recorded that.
I every time I hear it, I'm like, when did I say that? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's.
What's the other one? We're losers. What does he say? Play it.
Yeah, hold on.
You could catch.
Sorry, guys.
No, can I tell you my favorite Jimmy drop? This is my favorite.
love toast.
That's my
I
favorite.
love toast. Yeah, that's great. That's excellent.
I love toast, and that's what your picks are going to be. Burnt
Ooh,
toast.
Hey,
not
solid
Anthony
bird.
Richardson. Take it easy.
No, he's going to be an MVP.
Thank you.
So that's honestly a really good pick.
Thank you. I love it.
I
I'm
was
stoked
looking
to
at
mention.
James Conner
As it
here. So the
drops.
fact that Team 10 just absolutely sniped me, that's brutal.
Yeah,
and
that
honestly,
sucks.
but maybe that'll help me in the long run because I do feel like I always wait on tight end a little too long. I'm like, oh, there'll be some good tight end. I end up with like Luke Musgrave, with all due respect to Adrian.
Literally.
But I ended up with him in a
we
league.
call that punting the position. Exactly.
Yeah, I ended up with both Packers tight ends, and I was like, I'm sure one of them will be good for fantasy. But
Tucker Craft and Musgrave.
Yeah, Tucker Craft and Musgrave in a dynasty league. We'll talk about it later.
I think Musgrave will take a leap, but that's okay. Sorry,
Jimmy, will you please trade me Evan Ingram in legit dynasty? I'm getting really fed up with you.
So I just don't feel a need to go to Dallas Goedert for a third. So if you want to make something else work,
Dallas
Goedert. I'll do a second. On the air.
I don't know because I don't think I have any other tight end that would be able to be startable. So but I guess Goddard would be startable.
That's what I'm saying. All right, we'll talk about it later. Make your pick.
Don't tell me what to do. Now I don't want to make a pick. I might take up. So if you need more hints in fantasy football, letting the clock run out gives your other teammates a chance to kind of make their pick. They're always happy about it. You know, if you take forever, they always love it.
No, it pisses me off. I scream.
You went a Colt. I'm going a Bill. It's just
that's a great pick for you.
At this point,
I hate
Dalton Kincaid. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Oh, end the show, Adrian. End the show.
Dude, I'm volume guy in this team though. Like Dalton Kincaid could be like the
Oh, jokes.
All right.
That scared me for a second. I was like,
Armand's like,
I gotta leave now after hearing.
Armand's like, you can't do that to me in the middle of my pick, dude. All right, Armand, you have two. All right, let's really quick. James Conner, Dalton Kincaid to Jimmy. Excellent pick. And Armand's back on the clock with 2.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
You know, it's funny, like you talk about taking a long time to make your pick and just a bit of expose the bathrobe here. We have a legit football fantasy draft. And obviously, when everyone else is drafting, I'm fast asleep. So I would wake up every morning to like 78 different messages in Sleeper. Messages, DMs from Brian telling me to make my pick. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be awake at 4 a.m.
That's so funny. I've slept through a couple of those picks.
I'm not going to be awake
totally
at 4
honest.
a.m. Yeah, that's a problem when you're drafting 12 people across the country.
Yeah,
I've got a draft starting this Sunday, which is an Australian, like as in it's all Aussies in this fantasy football, so at least it'll be a regular timed, draft.
There we go. George Kittle.
Oh, and
Kyle Pitts. Did he just? Okay. Armand took 2 tight ends. we have George Kittle and Kyle Pitts to Armand, and he says, "Bam." So he's doing that with his chest. We all thought he made a mistake. No, sir.
Both high upside.
That was on purpose. I love it. Jimmy, you're back on the clock here.
I do want to point out my profile picture of me, a selfie with Anthony Richardson, if you guys forgot that.
That's pretty gangster.
Just so you guys know.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
So, yeah, he looked good. He's tall. All right, so I was waiting. I end up with DeAndre Swift in every single draft I do. So he's going to be my kryptonite probably. He's probably going to suck now, but
I reckon he's going to – I actually think he's going to, blow up this year. I think that's a really –
I hope so but, in the 6th round – I that's how I feel like with running back twos. Like if I can get DeAndre Swift in the 6th round and establish my wide receivers and tight ends, why not?
Yeah. And that puts me on the clock here. I have 2 running backs, 2 receivers. Between DeAndre Swift went T. Higgins. I'm back on the clock. George Pickens is the number 1 name, and I'm not really interested in him at all. I just think he's going to be a little too volatile, especially with Chef Russell tossing him the ball.
I feel the opposite on him, but
I'm really looking at 3 names here, and I'll tell you guys each name, and I'll talk about him a little bit. Keenan Allen, I think he's going to be a PPR machine. I think he's going to be Caleb Williams' safety blanket. I am very tantalized by his PPR upside. In a similar vein, another player who I'm excited about for similar reasons is Christian Kirk. Neither of those names are very sexy in fantasy football this year, but I think they'll both be solid target hogs for their respective teams. I think Kirk has a little bit less competition for targets, so if I was going to go with a receiver, I would probably tie-break to Kirk. Ramondre Stevenson is the 3rd name that I'm looking at, and it's really going to depend. I think I can get receivers that I like better later in the draft, so I think I'm going to take Ramondre Stevenson here to shore up my running back position. That's 3. I can flex Ramondre if I want. I have Breece Hall, Baby Cook, and Ramondre Stevenson, and again, if this team, I think, is going to get me some money. Appreciate
So
you
how do
all.
you feel? How do you feel about picking like Patriots players? Because we assume that they're not going to be like the best on offense. Do you ever think
Yeah.
about that when you're picking a player?
For sure, but I'm a lot less afraid of it for a couple reasons. Probably mainly because I'm less afraid of the Patriots' downfall than other people. I think they'll
Yeah.
be sneakily, instead of just outright bad, I think they might be mediocre, which will be a huge win for them given their media perception and whatnot. But yes, bad offenses, you do have to hold your breath when you press pick and just know that some weeks when the QBs aren't moving the ball and things aren't happening, it will just suck
Yeah,
very
and there's
badly.
not many names other than Ramondre Stevenson on the Patriots, but Jacoby did pretty good for the Colts way back in the day when somebody retired. Anyways,
That's true. Oh my God,
Adrian, what's
RIP.
up?
So here, all right. So there's two names that I've kind of got in my head, which I might be able to get both, to be honest with you, given the draft order. But look, Kyler Murray Arizona's my darling team, and he's the kind of player that could come in, and if he's like the old Kyler Murray, could win your league. The other one, and I'm just looking really at volume here, which is he's currently the top running back, which is Amir White. Small sample size, looks really good, but he could also suck. So that's really quite. And there's also a Dunze. I'm going to take Kyler because I feel like I need a QB.
Ugh.
Yep, and I like the pick of Kyler. After Ramondre
Right.
went Pickens, Burrow, Ingram, Najee Harris, Kyler Murray to Adrian. Then after Kyler Murray, Christian Kirk, Zamir White, Raheem Mostert, Rasheed Rice, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze. And Adrian
I kind of
Revito's
wish
back on
a
the clock.
Dunze. I kind of wish a Dunze didn't get taken there. I was hoping I might be able to get him.
Ooh.
All right. So his White is gone.
That
I
hurts.
need. Yeah, that does. All
But
right.
wouldn't Jaden Reed be nice if you didn't
I.
have
You
Josh
know what?
Jacobs?
Yeah, I'm not going to take Jaden Reed. No, I don't think. Look, and this is another shout out to second shot in a row to Kyle in our legit football league. He's been trying to throw me Green Bay
Yeah,
receivers. I've already
Christian
got two.
Watson.
Oh yeah, I don't need any more. All right. Okay. Let us bank on the breakout of Will Levis and the acquisition of my boy Calvin Ridley, and let's see if he pays some dividends.
I thought you were gonna pick Will Levis.
Yeah, the love
No.
that you have for Calvin Ridley burns with the heat of 1,000 suns.
It does. It
I'm not
really
surprised
does.
by the pick at all.
It's a problem, actually. It's like I'm ready to be hurt again because he was just dropping the ball left, right, and center last year. But
I think I'm the opposite. I think I hate him after what he did to me.
I actually still like him. We do have Titan Maximum giving a shout out to Adunze. And he's kind of, it seems like a double-edged sword. Seems he might be digging Keenan a little bit. Let's wait. Let's wait on that. Keenan's had some healthy years.
Don't be mean.
Pick after Adrian was Jaden Reed, then Tony Pollard, another bet on Will Levis, then Lad McConkey, rookie wide receiver. He's going very much like as one of the highest rookie wide receivers. Very interesting. Right behind, I believe, Harrison and Neighbors. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then we have Jake Ferguson, the pick before mine, and I have Brees Hall, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Baby Cook, Anthony Richardson, Ramondre Stevenson. I will say I'd like to have dominant tight ends, and I think that ship may have sailed. Respectfully, I don't see a ton of tight ends that I'm too jazzed about on the board. There are two at the very top in Brock Bowers and David Njoku that I would stomach drafting, so I think I'll just wait on my tight end and I'll start looking elsewhere.
I think there's plenty that could drop though. Like if you look at that list, anyone in that top
Armand
10,
has two, unless Armand takes a third.
all tight end strategy.
Jimmy has one, so I don't think that any of the Team 10 might take a tight end, but I think I have to make a bet here that I don't want to make. And this isn't, I mean, we are betting on this for real, but I think that I will, for the sake of where he's at and the kind of value that I think he could have. I have to take a Tums. I have to take an Alka-Seltzer for my upset tummy, and I have to take Xavier Worthy.
Oh wow.
I do
Upside.
understand. Yeah.
Could be a huge upside play. He's my third receiver. I strayed from receiver a little bit. I strayed from God for a little bit, but I've found him now in the form of Xavier Worthy. And Chris Godwin went after me, and we're back up with Jimmy Ray at pick 11. Go ahead,
I was
Jimmy,
ready
let
to
it rip.
pick Xavier Worthy.
Let's go.
Yeah. There's a couple quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, that I could pick, but I just feel like there's so many quarterbacks that would be serviceable at this point, and I don't think those two kind of break the bank. For fantasy purposes specifically, Jordan Love is really good.
Yep.
Uh,
You don't have a quarterback, so Jordan Love here is not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick, but I'm not going to pick him.
Ooh. Dak's right there, like Dak.
I do like Dak too.
Hanging out.
I'm going to hang out with Jordan Addison. I know people are worried about him.
Wow.
Because of the quarterback situation, and he's also somewhat of a criminal. He just likes to speed. It's not a big deal.
My boy Armand with Devin Singletary. That's a spicy.
You love you some Singletary.
That's a spicy pick right there at this point in the draft. I love it. I'm here for it. And then Armand with one more pick before we hit the home stretch. I think we'll hit a little bit of a rapid fire selection from here on out. We could still say a tidbit about our picks. I won't read the picks in between anymore. If you want to see our draft board, please go to youtube.com/legitfootball and please watch this because this is so fun. And I'm so happy we're doing this. Guys, the Legit Football final mock draft before fantasy season. Get in while the getting's good. I'm excited that we're doing this, and hopefully we can maximize this. Adrian, you might have to change the title of the episode in the live to like mock draft just to make sure that the good people have a chance to find it. Regardless, Armand finishes up his selection with, I believe, Deontay Johnson from Carolina. It's a great pick. Then Jimmy took Zach Moss. Okay, kind of ugly, kind of gross, kind of nauseating.
It looks gross, but if you actually think about it, I think it could be
less gross.
High-powered offense.
That's a homer pick. He loved Zach Moss. Zach Moss gave the Colts some good years, and by years I mean year.
He was like 1 year, yeah.
I'm back up on the clock, and Brock Bowers and David Njoku made it back to me. My bet paid off. I think I slightly prefer David Njoku here, and I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull trigger, and despite not getting a top 5 or 6 tight end, I think I got like 8 or 9, and I'm very okay with it. I can stomach that.
He burned his face last year.
Not great.
I love Njoku.
I do too. Great player. And Adrian's back on the clock. Adrian, let this one rip ski.
All righty. So Jaylen Warren is meant to be back for week 1. But he's also going to be up against Najee Harris. I'm just kind of looking. I want to take one more flex spot here. Who's going to have the lion's share? You got Austin Eckler sitting there, but I really don't believe him anymore.
In PPR, I'm back in on Eckler, by the way.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, look, Taji's now. You know what? All right, I'm going to stick with my initial. I'm going to take Jaylen Warren. Yeah, and
I love it.
Flex spot.
Yep. And the draft board is moving. Adrian, if you could adjust that for us down a little bit.
There we go.
And you're back up on the clock, sir.
All righty. Christian Watson sitting out there. I just said I wouldn't take him. No, you know what? Okay, I'll tell you who I'm going to take here, and I'm going to take it's another rookie who I feel like is going to be either make or break for their team, and that's Brian Thomas Jr.
He's been looking
BTJ. Fantastic.
Good,
and I think he's going to get a lot of volume.
Got Calvin and Brian now. All right, Calvin's on the Titans now.
Good pick there, and Kev's back up on the clock here.
I'm diversifying my assets.
I'm looking at. I'm not ready for a backup QB or tight end yet. It's a little early, despite the fact that the best tight end in football, Dallas Goedert, is still on the board, Jimmy. I am going to be looking elsewhere. And I think, I'm going to have to do what my dog Adrian thought about doing, and I'm going to have to take Tajay Spears just because I think he has the chance to lead the backfield. I know a lot of people are preying on Tony Pollard's downfall. I'm not one of those sick individuals, but I like Tajay Spears' upside quite a bit.
You mean his downfall as in like they're preying on the past when he fell out of the Cowboys?
Oh,
he's downfallen. He's at the bottom.
He was dog poop with the end of Dallas, his last year with Dallas. But it's
I'm not buying into
first year back from an injury. I think he could do it. I think he could be good. Titan maximum. Thank you. Exactly. Let's give some love to Tajay Spears. Come on. Armand's on the clock. And
Tua, Jimmy
with Tua. Oh, you know what? I actually like that pick.
All I'll say is I was hoping Caleb would fall, but apparently Team 5 wants 2 quarterbacks before anybody else. So, whatever they want to do, man. So
what a bum.
Talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. I'm sorry about that.
I could have gone Jaden, I guess. Jaden wouldn't have been a bad pick here just for his rushing ability. But
thank you for reminding me he's still on the board. He might be my pick.
Go for it, man.
If he's still there, I might take him. I love Jaden Daniels late in fantasy drafts. Pair Jaden Daniels with like a Matt Stafford or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like an easier, like a higher upside play or a higher floor player, because Jaden Daniels' ceiling is QB1.
Yeah, if he comes out and he's just, he's throwing some picks here and there, he's not getting
Do you
his
guys
feet
think,
grounded. Then
while we wait for Armand's picks, do you guys think that Anthony Richardson is a terrifying pick in fantasy this year? Because he's going so highly and he's so highly valued, but personally, I'm a bit terrified.
It's
yeah,
scary.
absolutely, dude.
Okay, cool.
Doing
I'm glad
that.
that
It's the same with any rookie, but the fact
Right.
he's basically a rookie
Right.
going in a spot that like is just based off of like 3 or 4 games and his like potential. So
Armand heard our
blame
conversation
you at
about
all.
Jaden Daniels, and did he take the first defense? Armand took the first defense. He's that guy, ladies and gentlemen, in your draft who takes the defense in the 9th round. No, good pick. Ravens defense. They should be a moneymaker for fantasy this year.
I've heard.
Jimmy's back on the clock.
While you're on the clock, Jimmy, can I just comment on the Anthony Richardson?
Please.
Yeah, I'll give you a second. Absolutely.
You can make your pick because as we're
I will. I just don't know who I'm picking.
Oh well, then I'll wax poetic. No, so I think Anthony Richardson. We saw enough of him last year to know he'll be good. But like anyone, like you're just worried. What if he re-injures himself? We don't know what his durability is like yet.
And what if the play is like not sustainable? What if the defenses catch up to him? Like there's a lot of risk.
That's true.
But his shoulder is stronger, so he'll be fine.
Exactly.
Well,
I like that. I like that mindset. We got Cortland Sutton for Jimmy, and then we have Curtis Samuel for Team 10. I'm back on the clock here, and I think I'm going to go another wide receiver here. And somehow, some way, this league, all these robots and all my homies just really don't believe in DeAndre Hopkins. This has been consistently a theme once again. I am doubling up on Titans here, which kind of makes me feel a little nauseous. And I think actually kind of talks me out of it. I'm not taking DeAndre Hopkins. Jameson Williams is right there. And since we're turning this into a best ball, normally I probably wouldn't take him here. But since we're turning this into a best ball, let's swing for the fences.
Did you just talk trash to us about not picking DeAndre Hopkins and then you didn't pick DeAndre Hopkins? I just want that confirmed. If you guys could see, Kevin just put his face up and just smiled.
That is what happened. I apologize.
I
apologize to my homies and all the
people not watching.
All the bots.
Okay, I can't believe that he is here. In fact, I can't believe he's actually kind of where he is for his ADP because he's going to be the wide receiver 1 in Kevin's favorite team. And I'm taking Shakir.
No, I wanted him.
He dropped to me.
No,
I deserve him.
Damn, I would much rather have him than Jameson Williams. What am I thinking?
All right, sorry, my son just made an entrance to the room and screamed if that came through the mic.
Didn't come through the mic. You're good.
Excellent.
I wish it would have.
I'll get him back in.
I wish it would have.
All right. My wide receiver room has now got enough. Time to. Oh, okay. Charbonnet sitting there. There's no one really jumping out to me in the running back room. Hey, that sounded so Aussie. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
So European.
All right. Yeah. So sorry. Right. All right. I think I am going to go. God, the running back room is gross now.
Yeah, it gets like that. That's why you got to take some guys when.
Yeah.
Oh, the Pops is in on the Shakir pick. Yeah, Shakir's good, man. He's been training all offseason with Eric Moulds.
All right. You know what I will do? Because I feel like he might be a little underrated here. I'm going to take Jonathan Brooks. Is he already off the board?
Yeah.
Is he lower?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Which is a weird one because he's going to be on the pup list to begin with. And in his absence, no, I don't want Chuba Hubbard. He's in the last half a year. Okay, sorry. I'm really. This is terrible. I'm going to take a tight end.
Tilting.
This is what we call tilting. Yeah, 100%. I'm going to take my boy Pat Frymuth and hope that he finally breaks out.
Not bad. Not bad. I don't hate the Frymuth pick there. I think he's the last of a tier when it comes to the tight end. So not mad at that pick. Kev Dog's back on the clock. And I do think I need to take a backup quarterback, especially given the best ball nature of this draft that we're turning it into. And a name that I constantly have in my mouth for negative reasons is on the board still. And shockingly, and he's left for dead. And Mamma Mia, he's going behind Jared Goff and several rookies and Trevor Lawrence and Caleb Williams. I'm going to take Justin Herbert here, and hopefully they can figure it out in LA this year.
I think that's a likely outcome.
That's a good pick. It's a good pick. I'm looking at running backs right now. I'm looking at Chuba Hubbard or J.K. Dobbins, Rico Dowdle. I mean, a lot of good running backs that are going to be like high volume running backs. running back one.
I don't know if I could say Rico Dowdle's good.
People like him.
I am not telling the truth.
Twitter likes him.
I'm gonna go Chuba Hubbard.
Mm-hmm. That was originally
solid pick.
Where I was gonna
solid pick. Armand's back on the clock.
Who knows?
And he takes Jalen Wright. What a pick! What a
Jalen Wright. Actually, that's a good spot there.
Decent pick.
And Stafford. Wow. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do you right there.
Should I just? Yeah, I guess. So, I mean,
I'm not mad at the J.K.
If you're looking at it from a fantasy perspective, one of these guys, Zach Moss, Chuba Hubbard, J.K. Dobbins, one of them's bound to make an impact. From best ball perspective, one of them's bound to make an impact. Right?
Cool.
Maybe.
Absolutely. And I got to go 49ers D just because I have the chance at a positional upside.
All right. I'm looking at the running back room. All right, okay, I'm gonna pick a weird one here because he could just be one of those people that blows out of the water, and that's Manny Vidal. You know, like that name that was on everyone's mind.
Oh yeah, he was the it boy a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Adrian's back up.
All right, and I'm gonna hit a defense. Let's take the Jets.
Surprised the run on defenses hasn't started yet. It really looks like the computer teams are sticking to last pick. I got to take a backup tight end here. And I'm going to take my favorite tight end prospect of the year and a man who Jimmy Ray famously called Ben Sinote. I'm taking Ben Sinote.
It is Ben Sinote.
I believe it's Sinnott.
It could be both.
I like Sinnott.
I like Sinote.
Sounds like C-Note.
C-Note, Sinnott.
C-Note.
Star Wars, the Senate.
Ben
Anyways.
C-Note.
C-Not.
Oh, hell yeah. We have a lineup question. Oh, that's how you know football's back. Oh, I feel that one in my bones.
I love it, man. I love it.
Huge fan of the show, Captain Joe King. Huge fan of the Joe. Already a sub. Quick question. Should I start Flowers against the Chiefs or McLaurin against Tampa? PPR. I'd go Flowers personally. I think he has the upside. PPR especially. I think he could get 5 to 8 receptions, maybe 10 targets. And you got to hope one of those turns into a touchdown for a big output. Wide receiver 1 for a rookie quarterback, I'd wait a couple weeks, personally.
So I'm with you on this,
sorry,
and I love Scary Terry, but with no L'Jarius Sneed on the Chiefs, I would start Flowers.
Wow, Jimmy, great pick on Taysom Hill. You disgust me, but that's a great pick.
So I was looking at it, and I didn't have a backup tight end or a backup quarterback. So for best ball purposes, I figured I could have that, and he could come in whenever those two.
I kind of think we should, since we know we're going to turn this into a best ball, I kind of think we should all take backup defenses with our last pick for the bye weeks.
I already took my last pick.
No, there's one more.
Yeah, my last one's a defense because I don't have a defense yet.
Oh, you don't have a single defense yet. Oh well,
correct.
You're just going to lose a couple points on the bye week then.
No. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yep, you're just a bum. It's fine.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm going to take the Bills. I just love their upside. I think the Bills defense, even though you have to scroll down the board to find them, I just think I love Bobby Babbage, DC, and it's a homer pick. Whatever.
With defenses, I mean, the Bills could have both your defenses could have a negative performance, and then you're just screwed.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's not going to happen to you on the bye week.
It could happen to you. Yeah, it could happen to you for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to take a backup QB here, and I don't like. I almost swore then. I hate Deshaun Watson, but if it's a best ball, he's going to have some games. Bo Nix is probably the only other person on the. I will never say guess, but Bo Nix is the only one who's kind of like the undisputed starter at the moment, and Bryce Young. I'm going to take Deshaun. I feel like he's got the pieces around him to succeed.
I'm not mad at it, brother. And there it is. And convert that into a sleeper league, Adrian, and make it a best ball. I
cannot do that. I think you're the.
Who's the draft board owner?
Do I have to do it? It says
I can
do it right there.
No, it says please ask the draft board owner to do this.
Oh, okay. Let me do that. Convert to
Hey,
league.
Kevin, can you do this?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing it.
Yeah. All right, I got you.
And Armand, if you're down, you're in. I say Jimmy and I, we have 20 on the other. Do you guys want to do 20 each?
Yeah, I'm in.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go. Armand, comment or reach out. All right. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Our final mock draft. Hopefully we sent you guys off into your draft weekend and weeks and your draft life now. Hopefully you're all fantasy football addicts like us. Hopefully we sent you all away with a big smile on your face and Really, really excited for fantasy football. Adrian, anything to say to the people before we wrap this sucker up?
Oh no, that was so much fun. Armand, thanks for getting involved. And hopefully next year when we do this, we can fill out a 12-team roster with listeners. That'd be super fun.
Armand is not in the bet, so it's just the three of us. That's a potential $40 to earn. 60 if you include your buy-in back.
What if one of the computers win?
We all pay the computer. We donate to AI.
Bitcoin, we just buy Bitcoin.
I'm down for that.
We just buy Bitcoin. Jimmy, anything to say to the good people before we wrap this sucker up?
Colts are winning 10 games.
Colts are winning 10 games.
We've lost Jimmy to a fever dream. We've lost Jimmy to a fever dream.
Last thing to say before the season starts. Cross your fingers. You know what? Actually, my pops requested that we do a live pod when I'm with him, so you guys might meet Kevin Sr. next week.
That'd be so fun.
Yes, let's go.
PK Martini Jr. Without further ado, my name's Kevin Phillip Fox. He's Adrian Revito. He's Jimmy Ray of NFL Stats. We are the Legit Football. We are the Legit Football NFL podcast, and we are